natin yung camera para sigurado na hindi mahagip ng init. Yun yung ano natin guys, kasi ginalaw na ng iba to. So ayan, galaw na talaga siya. Tinanggal na yung ano. Ang binanata niya yung backlight IC. So kala niya siguro sira ang backlight IC. Pati yung CPU. Ito yung backlight IC niya guys. Galaw na. Tapos ito CPU ginalaw na rin. So susubukan na lang natin kung kaya pang buhayin. So nahanap na natin yung problem niya. Ito banda rito sa may signal section, medyo mainit. Pero bakyang-bakya lang init niya. So yun yung ano ko dito guys. Yun yung ang may papayo ko sa mga gumagawa ng cellphone. Sa mga baguhan lang to guys. Hindi na to kailangan manood ang mga marunong na magagaling gumawa. Hindi ito nyo kailangan. So ito ay basic lang na tutorial. So kaya ko ina-upload mga ganito. Mga sikreto kasing gawa ito. Tulad ng itong unit na ito guys, galing na sa ibang technician, dalawang technician na lang pinagdalan, hindi matrace kung saan nang gagaling ang sira. Ngayon, ang ginalaw nila ay backlight IC sa display backlight. Ngayon, nung na-test ko ay ang sabi, nabili nung kasamahan ko, ang sabi ay nasubukan na raw sa 4 na LCD pero magbabibrate lang, di tumutuloy yung power. So, maaring ganun dahil grounded nga yung unit. So ngayon, binuksan natin yung frame niya sa ibabaw. Sa signal nito guys, malapit sa signal. Pero pag ganito kalakas ang grounded, masyadong mataas, full shorted siya, kadalasan to mga kapastor lang ang binubulot natin, hindi tayo nagpapalit. Ang power amplifier kasi guys, bihira masira yon. Ngayon, ituturo ko sa inyo paano mag-check ng isang unit. Una, pag nakatanggap kayo ng patay, huwag nyo kaagad-agad na lapag kayo ng LCD, lapag ng iinit ng pyesa, hindi. I-test nyo muna sa short killer at saka sa tester. Malalaman nyo kung grounded, doon kayo magbe-base sa sira na grounded. Huwag kayong agad-agad na tira ng tira. Ito kasi guys, yun yung mga sikreto ng technician. Bakit madaling magawa ang isang cellphone? Kasi napag-aralan niya kung ano ang gagalawin. Hindi yung pachamba-chamba lang. Mahirap kasi yung pachamba-chamba. So ito na, itong bandang dalawang kapasitor ay umiinit. So hindi ko alam sa dalawa na to kung ano yung umiinit. Pero lalagyan natin ng insinso para malaman natin kung alin yung unang umuusok, yun ang bubunutin natin. So itong area na to ang umiinit, pero mas malakas ang init nitong banda rito. Ito. So kapasitor na sa dalawa.
Alam ko galing kay Pakistan to eh.
Ay, hindi nga kinaya.
Kasi nakita ko may sinubok na i-bypass eh.
Sabi na dito kaya.
So yun yung ano natin.
May gagato, busatan na malaki na naman eh. May 15 na yan, sabi ko hindi mo. Ay naku, kung di ko lang yung nabili ng
Yung
mga
technique
dito sa
natin.
kasama ko. Akala ko si Y11, Y15. Yung sinabi Y15A. Mahirap gawin yan pag may password kasi nasabi yan sa akin
Guys,
valid eh.
lalagyan natin ng
Ngayon, kinuha na kami ng Pakistan.
insinso para
Nung
malaman
natanggap niyo
natin
yung
kung
pera,
saan
agad-agad din
ang
gumawa.
umiinit.
Tapos sabi na,
Kadalasan guys, sa
kaibigan naman yung gumawa.
mga may kaya na, may mga pondo na
Mga
technician, may mga
isang buong
pang
araw
ano
sa
na sila,
kanya.
pambili ng mga gadget.
Kinabukasan, narinig ng...
Merong ang thermal
Ibang
scanning na ginagamit.
Sige, sabi
So
nga,
medyo
gawa yan.
mahal nga lang yun. Merong local na thermal scanning nasa 18,000.
Pero nung tayo ng umaga ko
Meron
pag
namang
ginagawa ito,
39,000.
hapon ko
So,
na
masyadong mahal
nakita
na yun.
yung bypass.
Yung gawa ng
Yan.
Quanli is yung masyadong mahal yung Quanli. Meron namang mga kasi itong ginagawa ko dito guys, traditional na pamamaraan, yung lumang technique. Ito, susunugin mo lang yung pausukin lang, tapos itatapat natin sa IC kung saan banda yung umiinit. So yun yung technique na ginagawa natin. Ngayon, saka natin titingnan kung alin yung unang umuusok. Negative sa negative, positive sa positive lang guys. Huwag kayong huwag yung pagbaliktarin yung negative to positive. Masama yan, masusunog yung short killer pag ano. So ito guys, ayan. Yan natin, ayan, may umusok na. So itong isa na to ang umuusok. So malamang ito yung bubunutin natin. So hindi na tayo magpapalit guys ng ganitong capacitor. Ang gagawin natin ay ano na lang, di-disable lang natin. So, uulitin natin muna para makita nyo talaga kung saan banda yung umuusok. So, tinatakpan ko ng kamay dahil malakas yung hangin. So, lumalayo kagad yung usok niya. So, ayan, tinakpan ko ng kamay kasi malakas yung hangin. Hindi nakakabuo tayo ng ano, parang pinaka ano niya para magmumoist ng ano, usok. So yan, titignan natin ulit yan para makita nyo kung ano yung unang nasusunog. So ganun lang yung technique dito guys, kasi yung iba pira ng pira, yun ang pinakamahirap talaga. Pero kung aralin nyo talaga, napakadali lang kumuha. So ito, tignan natin kung ano yung unang na lulusaw dito guys. So para madali yung makita. Ayan, ito yung area na to. So, subukan natin para sure ball.
Permission request.
Ayan, tignan mo buusok, nasa taas.
Voice command. Use voice command.
Ulitin natin ulit.
Google Assistant.
Ayan, tingnan nyo. Ayun, oh. Kita nyo guys. Yan yung umuusok.
Open settings.
Yan yung grounded. Napakahina dito banda sa taas. Pero dahil ano nga siya, shorted, hindi na natin papalitan. Tatanggalin lang natin. So wala namang problema dito kung tatanggalin lang siya. Kasi hindi naman big deal tong capacitor na to. May resistor. Yun yung ginagawa natin ay
Mrs. Tizon, ayon sa ebidensya, sulit na sulit ang EQ Pants. May tulong iwas leaks, tulong sa comfort, tulong iwas rashes.
Yan ang sulit. You can prove it. EQ Pants.
Disable na lang. So ganun lang kasimple. Kasi yung iba guys, yun ang problema natin sa mga ibang technician, mga baguhan. So hindi naman ako sa ano, ang inaano ko lang dito na aralin nyo muna, gamitan nyo ng tester o kaya kung ang tester may short killer kayo, lalabas talaga ang sira. Hindi pwedeng hindi lalabas. Pag grounded siya, lalabas talaga. Walang imposible pag grounded, mas madali gawin. Nga lang, mas mahirap gawin kung ang gamit mo ay thermal scanning dahil kakapain mo pa. Di katulad itong manual, napakadali, napakabilis. Yun ang pinakamadaling paraan. So check natin ngayon kung magpa-power ba, mabubuhay ba yung unit. Ayan, nag-charge na siya guys. So ayos, buhay. Yun lang, basic lang, nadali na natin. So hindi tayo pinahirapan, galing na sa dalawang technician, wala nangyari. So ibig sabihin, effective yung mga strategy na ginagawa natin. So dito guys, I hope na makatulong ito sa inyo. Kung bago ka man sa channel ko, palike na lang at saka pa-subscribe para lagi kayo ma-update sa mga bagong upload natin. Kaya na guys, buhay na. So ibibigay na natin sa customer. So wala, sa kasamahan ko. So swerte nga niya, nabili niya 300 lang. Swerte. Bininta na lang ng may-ari kasi hindi na raw magawa. Yung pala, magagawa pa. Yung mali lang ng technician, hindi marunong. Yun lang. So guys, salamat sa ulit na upload natin. See you in the next video.
Mahirap!
Gusto kami sa iniwan ng customer yung dalawang box na ganito. Ganyan.
Kano mas magpapalit ng battery?
Hi, this is Dustin Pestle with Hope Through Prophecy. This video you are about to watch will reveal Satan's battle plans, his endgame for the final days. You will learn about the Antichrist, the mark of the beast, and the role of the United States in Bible prophecy. This video contains the most solemn truths ever entrusted to mortal minds. I ask that you pray before watching, and please share this video far and wide so that this truth can reach the world. May the Lord guide you and bless you on your journey. The Antichrist. This very word has been the source of fascination and intrigue for thousands of years. This mysterious being will be at the center of end-time Bible prophecy and will be responsible for the infamous mark of the beast. There's no need to guess about this diabolical power. In this video, we will go directly to the Bible to prove exactly who the Antichrist is. Stay tuned. Numerous theories have swarmed about who the Antichrist truly is. In this video, we will provide no speculation or rumors, but will now go right to the Bible to identify this Antichrist power. Speaking of the apocalyptic book of Revelation, the Bible says, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants things which must shortly take place. Blessed is he who reads, and those who hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written in it, for the time is near. You will notice that the book of Revelation is from Jesus, and a blessing is pronounced on those who listen to and obey its words. While this message about the Antichrist is a solemn warning, it is also a message of love from Jesus. He wants us to know the truth so we can be protected and saved. Revelation 14 contains the three angels' messages, God's final warning to the world. The third angel specifically warns about the beast, another name for the Antichrist, and its mark. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and his image, and receives his mark, shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God. The greatest judgments in human history are prepared for those who worship this Antichrist beast and receive his mark. As you may know, the book of Revelation is full of symbolism. In order for us to identify the meaning of symbols, we must let the Bible interpret itself. So according to the Bible, what does a beast represent? The fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on the earth. The Bible reveals that a beast represents a kingdom in apocalyptic prophecy. Now brace yourself, friends. This mysterious beast or kingdom that will enforce the mark of the beast is vividly described in Revelation chapter 13. And I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. We will now consider this beast of Revelation 13 and 10 identifying characteristics that describe it in detail before we positively identify this Antichrist power. God provides multiple characteristics of the beast because he wants us to have no doubt about its identity. As we consider these 10 characteristics, begin to ask yourself who this power is. You students of history will most likely recognize it before it is revealed later in this video. 1. The Antichrist rises out of the sea. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea. According to the Bible, a sea represents a heavily populated area. The waters which you saw are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. So this beast power would arise from a heavily populated area. 2. The Antichrist receives its throne, power, and authority from the dragon. The dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. This beast would receive its power, authority, and even its capital city, or seat, from the dragon. Who or what is the dragon? We know from the Bible that the dragon represents Satan. However, the Bible is actually more specific about who this dragon is in verse 2. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 diadems on his heads. And the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth, to devour her child as soon as it was born. She bore a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. This passage refers to the birth of Christ and how Satan tried to destroy Christ at his birth. Which power did Satan work through to try and accomplish this? It was Rome. Herod, the king of the pagan Roman Empire, tried to destroy Jesus at his birth. So, according to Revelation, Rome would give this Antichrist beast its power, throne, and capital city. Some of you may be starting to see which historical power matches these descriptions. 3. The Antichrist becomes a global power.
Kunti na
All
lang.
the world marveled
Kunting
and
tiis na lang.
followed the beast. And authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. Clearly, this Antichrist would have global, worldwide power and influence. 4. The Antichrist is guilty of blasphemy. On his head's a blasphemous name, and he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God,
Kaya lang
to
naman niya tinanggal kasi
blaspheme
alam
his
niya
name,
na
his
tapos na yung
tabernacle,
warranty.
and those who dwell in heaven. The Bible defines blasphemy in 2 ways: claiming the power to forgive sins and claiming to be God himself. This beast power would be guilty of both forms of blasphemy. Which
Sinasabihan naman sila
organization could this be referring to? We will soon find out. 5. The Antichrist rules for 42 prophetic months. He was given authority to continue for 42 months. In Bible prophecy, one prophetic
Alam naman nila
day
yun kasi
equals
gusto lang
one
nilang
literal
makaligtas.
year. We see this principle in Numbers 14:34 and also Ezekiel 4:6, which says,
Sinabi ko naman sa
I have
kanya na
appointed thee
magsumbong na
each
lang.
day for a year. So this
sa'yo.
Antichrist
Kung sino
power
bang-
would rule for 42 prophetic months, which is 1260 days
Dami
in
kong
the Hebrew
ikakaltas.
calendar, which amounts to 1260 literal years.
Kakaltas ko pa yung pumasahe ko dun.
This 1260-year reign for the Antichrist is referenced 7 times in the prophetic books of Daniel and Revelation. 6. The Antichrist receives a deadly wound that is later healed. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. The Bible speaks of this
Hindi, pag
beast
totoo
power
naman,
receiving a
kung nasa lugar ka
deadly wound, which
naman,
would
ba't
later be
hindi?
healed. We will shortly reveal how this very thing happened to the Antichrist. 7. The Antichrist receives worship. They worship the beast, saying who is like the beast, who is able to make war with him. Clearly, this beast power is different from other nations, as it receives worship. The Antichrist would be some sort of religious, political power. 8. The Antichrist
May customer nga ako
persecutes
na
God's people. It
pinagbintangan
was
ako na ano
granted
eh.
to him to make
Namimiyesa daw
war
ako.
with the saints and to overcome
Ngayon,
them. The Antichrist would be guilty
siguro
of
bumalik
mass
siya kasi pag
bloodshed
in-explain ko sa
against
kanya,
God's
sabi
very
niya,
own people.
oo lang, oo.
In just a
Ngayon, may
moment,
nagsabi
we
naman
will
sa kanya
pull
na
back the curtain on
Pinisahan
this
mo daw.
blasphemous
Pinisahan ko daw.
opponent
Oo lang, di siya
of
lang,
God
oo.
and his saints.
Ngayon, ang sabi ko sa kanya,
The Antichrist has a
sabi niya sa
man
akin,
as its leader.
alam mo ba na
For it is the
masamang
number
magnakaw?
of a man.
Sabi niya sa akin,
Revelation refers to a man who
ang dami kong
represents
customer,
this
ang dami
Antichrist
nakarinig.
power. Daniel
Sabi ko
chapter
sa kanya,
7 describes the
alam mo rin
little
ba na
horn
masamang
power,
magbintang?
which is a parallel
Alam ko na masamang magnakaw,
of the Antichrist.
pero alam kong masamang
And there,
magbentang.
in this horn,
Ngayon, meron
were
na,
eyes
diba,
like the
may
eyes of a
pagkasinapan
man,
nilang puri.
and a
Diba?
mouth speaking
Pwede
pompous
mong
words.
anuan din yun,
This
mabalik
beast
ka rin siya
power
kasi
would have a single
lalo na
man
maraming
who serves as its
Yes, ay,
representative
pinagbibintangan mo
and
ako.
leader. We will soon
nakita ka.
reveal
Ay,
who this
pinag-arahan mo ako
is.
na nagnanakaw ako.
The
Bakit
Antichrist has the
may ano
number
ka ba na ganun nga ginawa
666.
ko?
Here is wisdom.
Pinagbibintangan mo lang naman
Let
ako.
him who has understanding calculate the number of
Nataya siya
the
siguro.
beast.
Umalis
For
na
it
lang
is the
siya.
number of a man. His
Hindi na ako
number
yun, ano.
is 666. Notice that 666 is not the mark of the beast, but it is rather the number of a man. The mysterious number would
Kung wala ka rin namang
identify
tiwala sa
the
technician.
leader
Ang dami ko
of
lang
the
kayang
Antichrist.
sinabihan.
So, who
Meron pa nga
is
dito,
the Antichrist?
baka namimisa ka.
Based on
Sabi ko
these
sa kanya,
characteristics,
huwag na ho kayong magpagawa sa mga technician.
there is only one organization in human history
Oo, pinapapunta ko sa iba yan. Sabi ko, huwag na lang ho kayong, alam nyo, hindi technician ang kailangan nyo. Sabi ko,
the Antichrist.
ay, maghanap po kayo ng mga magician. Kasi ano yun eh, mamagikit lang yung cellphone nyo.
State Union. Shortly, we will see
Dami ko
how
nang
this
na-encounter
institution perfectly
Tagal
fits
ko na dito.
each of these 10 characteristics. But let us be clear, friends. There are many sincere, loving Christians in the Catholic Church. who are doing the best they know. This biblical Antichrist warning is not about the people in the Catholic Church, but it's about a false system which has set itself against God. Once again, God gives us this solemn warning for our blessing and safety. Make sure that you carefully watch each of the following 10 proofs to see how the papacy perfectly matches these biblical descriptions in a way that no other power can. But first, we must realize that this teaching of the Catholic Church-State union being the Antichrist is nothing new. The majority of Christian churches today started out by believing and teaching this. In fact, the leaders of the Protestant Reformation taught this very truth. Consider the words of Martin Luther, the most well-known of the Reformers and the founder of the Lutheran Church. We here are of the conviction that the papacy is the seat of the true and real Antichrist. John Calvin, another prominent reformer and theologian, agreed with Luther on this issue. Some persons think us too severe and censorious when we call the Roman pontiff Antichrist. I shall briefly show that Paul's words in 2 Thessalonians 2 are not capable of any other interpretation than that which applies them to the papacy. The famous Baptist pastor Charles Spurgeon, possibly the most renowned preacher and theologian in modern Christianity, proclaimed, "It is the duty of every Christian to pray against Antichrist. And as to what Antichrist is, no sane man ought to raise a question, if it is not the popery in the Church of Rome and in the Church of England. There is nothing in the world that can be called by that name." The word Protestant has at its roots the word protest. The Reformation was a protest against the abuses and false teachings of the Catholic Church. Sadly, most Protestant churches today have forgotten what they are protesting
Nirecord ko na
against.
kasi
It is
hindi
no
kaya ni
longer
Pakistan
politically correct to teach this biblical truth.